This video will cover a range of tools which can be used to support maths and numeracy. We'll focus on a range of 365 tools available to all GLOW users. We'll also look at some shape resources, measure resources, including those available on Active Inspire on Promethean boards, but which could also be used on a range of other devices or platforms. We'll cover some websites which can also support symmetry, learning of data handling, and we'll cover where you can get help and support, including the National Technologies Community from Education Scotland and the National Maths and Numeracy PLC, also from Education Scotland, which hosts a wide range of support materials, information and links. Our session will focus on the technologies and numeracy mathematics, E's and O's and benchmarks. We will highlight how these tools can be used creatively and to support learning and teaching and assessment. How good is our school and how good is our early learning and childcare documents? Both promote digital in their illustrations. Digital used effectively can enhance the learning and teaching experience as well as the assessment process. You may also wish to know our newly published document, Features of Highly Effective Digital Learning, Teaching and Assessment in Schools, is available from the National Education Scotland digital team and is on the National Improvement Hub from Education Scotland. Furthermore, the Technologies curriculum also has a supporting document, What Digital Learning Might Look Like. This document gives you some examples of alternative ways you may not have thought of on how to use the Technologies curriculum within your setting. This document covers early to second level and can be accessed via the Education Scotland website or by scanning the QR code on screen. If your setting has handheld devices such as iPods, iPads, or iPods, or has a bring your own device policy, you may wish to use the Measure app built into Apple devices. The icon looks like this. If it's not available on your device, it's available for a free download from the Apple Store. However, with any software product, please always speak to your IT department or your education digital team. The Measure app uses AR to measure areas around you. For example, here we're going to measure the distance across the top of this portable speaker. Hold the camera over, tap the plus to make your first dot and line up to the second. The system will automatically generate measurements. For shapes which are, for example, square, it will also measure the perimeter. Hovering in the centre gives you the area. Tapping these measurements allows you to see it in centimetres and inches, and the built-in AI on your device will identify shapes within a larger shape. This can be overwritten by selecting the plus dot, tapping and measuring. The Measure app is a really simple tool to use which can support the use of measuring tapes and other measuring devices within the classroom. Another app which you may find of use is Quiver. Quiver has two versions, a free version, seen here in blue, and a paid-for version, seen here in green. Quiver works with AR. Printed sheets can be accessed through their website, and when used in conjunction with the app, allow their user to see shapes come alive in 3D. There are a range of packs available for maths and numeracy, including a series of nets. PowerPoint also has a range of built-in features for 3D shapes. We could be discussing what shapes can be seen here, for example rectangles, which combine to make a square. And we also have a circle. However, we could talk about 3D properties and what these 2D shapes may become if they're 3D objects. Here we can set up the square to rotate into a cube. We can set our circle to demonstrate that it's actually a cylinder. This is done easily and simply. Whenever you add a 3D shape from a 3D package, you will automatically be able to use the 3D model tools in the menu at the top of the screen. Here we see the full range that we can preset it at, and we can also set it to be animated, swinging round on a turntable where it rotates right round for the user to see. The system will automatically generate a light pattern so that the user is able to see the 3D object completely, especially when using these solid colours. To add your own objects, select Insert from the menu bar at the top. Halfway along, you'll see an option on the desktop PowerPoint version for 3D models. Please be aware this is not visible or available on the online version of PowerPoint at present. Selecting 3D models and the drop-down menu, you can choose to upload your own 3D model or a stock one from Microsoft. Here you're able to search if you have a specific requirement for a model, or you can choose from their pre-curated list. If we choose 3D shapes, we can select from the list available. Here I'll choose a cuboid. Select the item or items you want and insert. Along the top, you'll be able to choose the view that your object has. Alternatively, you can hover over the circular arrows and move your object around. Again, the light will move to allow your learners to see the object and all of its features. You can reset your model, and you can also add from this shortcut menu 3D models at the start of the ribbon. Once you're happy with the position of your model, you may wish to animate it. Selecting animations allows you to choose what way your model will move when in presenter mode. To move your model, you must be in edit mode. Select swing and your model will move. Going back to present mode, if I click, my model now swings. We can discuss how many corners, lines, edges, etc. it may have. For teaching time, including durations or dates on a calendar, you may wish your young people to use their Glow Outlook calendar. This can be accessed using the app launcher in the top left-hand side of your screen. The calendar can be created by simply double-clicking a date and populating it with an event that you have provided. For example, asking the young people to generate a trip to the cinema on a specific date, adding you as their teacher in, and ensuring that it lasts for a specific amount of time. For example, we may give them a start time and tell them that the event will last for 40 minutes. We can also ask them to provide additional information, and if a group are working on a shared calendar, for example here within Demo Maths, you may wish them to add their name to the description so that you can ensure that everybody has participated. Once happy, select Save, and the event will show in your calendar and in theirs. Ahead of the lesson, you may wish to create a shared calendar which you add your young people to, therefore allowing you to have different calendars for different groups. To create a shared calendar, click Add Calendar, create blank calendar, give it a title, a colour and a description, ensuring that you add it to your calendars, and save. You will then be asked if you want to add additional people to your calendar, and this is where you may wish to add your young people. Using Calendar in Outlook means that your young people are becoming familiar with digital calendars, have a constantly up-to-date resource, and allows you to ask questions and share your resources, giving instant feedback as you're able to access everything live. One note within Glow also available as an iPad app or desktop tool on Windows devices, has a range of built-in maths tools available also. Here we can choose Insert and Maths. This pop-up window can be seen at the side to give you some information, but you can simply choose to type and/or write your maths equation in and then draw or highlight the equation. Selecting Maths tool will automatically ask if you wish to change it to the correct formulae. This can be useful when using fractions. Having the Maths tools activated allows you to use proper layout in fraction work. You may also wish to use the Draw tool, depending on the device you're using. Here we can add in a sum, select the sum and choose Maths. Again, the AI built into Glow note page will read the formula you've added. If incorrect, you can choose to fix it. Alternatively, you can ink to Maths and choose an action, for example, creating a graph with the response. Should you have learners who have any accessibility requirements, you may wish to use the View Immersive Reader option. This will read aloud the page for your young person.
Cap x plus y equals 16. 1/2. For plus y equals 12.
A range of voices is available. Backgrounds, languages, and more are also available. For more information around accessibility features and Immersive Reader, you may wish to look on DigiLearn Scott. When you've finished using the drawing tool, always remember to choose Type from the option so you can go back to using your mouse or cursor. You may also wish to use your OneNote as a blank drawing space of unlimited size when adding in pictorial concepts. You can introduce things such as number lines by inserting either a live picture, audio file, or here we're going to choose one that I have on my device. This red and white number line, which I got from the National Learning Community from Numeracy and Maths. Here I can put on my number line, I can stretch it, and I can ask my young people to use it to demonstrate their understanding, either with the pen tool or with type. I can also use a range of other media in here. If I have a class team, I could distribute my number line to each of my learners' pages within their class notebook, which is automatically generated as part of a class team. This means they have a private workspace which only the practitioners can access, but which I can then have overview and see instantly to provide feedback, support with digital inking and understanding, and ensure that my young person is mastering the concept. Accessing Glow Forums through the app launcher. Within Microsoft Forums, you're able to create maths quizzes, which can identify the correct answer and also uses the correct symbols. Select Add New, and here we're going to choose multiple choice. When the window for your question opens, select the 3 dots at the bottom. To ensure maths settings are switched on, there should be a tick next to maths. If this is not visible, simply click. You'll be aware if it's activated as a box will appear stating enter an equation. By clicking in here, you're given simple scientific calculator, which you can use as your keyboard to enter any symbols needed. As we're in a quiz, the computer will automatically generate some suggestions which are incorrect and one which is correct. You can choose to add them all, and it automatically identifies for the learner the correct answer. You can also choose to click on the speech bubble and provide feedback. This can also be done for the correct answer. Question answers can be moved around, and the question also can be moved using the up and down arrows, allowing you to group. When your young person completes the forum, they won't see any of the answers until submitted. Once submitted, green answers identify correct, red answers are identified by a pink band. Your comments can support your young people in allowing to attempt the question correctly next time. All responses are submitted live. A summary is provided and all data is exported to Excel. You can also review answers individually and you can share your forum with another teacher or send it to your department for them to issue. You can also link the quiz to your OneNote by Insert menu. On OneNote, select Insert Forum and select the quiz you want to insert. This can be issued to your individual students or placed in a general area. If you use an interactive whiteboard, there are a range of features that you may wish to utilise. For example, tangrams can be created easily by you or by learners to enhance understanding of shape. Here we can create our own, which I have simply done by putting on a background. I've worked out which shapes would fit onto my square, and I may ask my learners to create their own. To do this, I'm going to insert a blank page, use the shape option from the menu, and for this I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to simply create 4 squares to make my tangram. However, you can make this as complicated as you want. Firstly, select your background shape, ensuring your cursor's back to the pointer tool, use the mini menu, and you're going to lock your background shape on so that it's a fixed platform. Then you or your learners may wish to create 4 different shapes which can fit on top. Here I've selected one blue square. I'm going to fill it so that it's more visible. I'm simply going to return to my cursor and make a copy. So here I'm going to duplicate that shape. When I'm happy with my shapes, I can make them all different colours. I can duplicate again using Ctrl D and I can place them on. I now have an easy to access tangram which my young people can populate. Alternatively, if I get rid of 3 of my squares, I can pop my square at the side. I can changing back to design mode by clicking the edit button up here. I'm going to move my large background over a little. Returning to edit mode and locking my background, I'm going to use drag a copy. Select your item, use the mini menu and use drag a copy. I now have one shape which I can pull as many times as I want to fill up my background. I can have as many drag a copies as I want, and this is also a useful feature when introducing grouping to younger learners for division or for when working out money and adding money to a virtual purse. I can also use the drag a copy feature when developing the concrete, pictorial and abstract approach in my maths lessons with young people. To insert a shape, I can take a shape from the internet, please be mindful of copyright, or I can insert media. However, Active Inspire has a range of resources. So here I'm going to go to View and Browsers. A window will pop up showing me all the slides, a little bit like PowerPoint. However, if I choose the resources, the second option along, I can choose to use any of the resources available to me in the shared area. For example, lesson building tools or subject resources. An example of this might be to estimate the angle. Here I've used a lesson building tool in the activities and templates. It's asked me to draw on the rays of the new angle and ask my learners for estimates. Here I may want to use a tool that's not visible. Selecting the tools option above the highlighter across hammer and spanner, I can choose to add in additional maths tools. Here I want to use a protractor. I can insert my protractor, and then using my interactive board, I'm able to calculate the angle by measuring it with my protractor. Learners don't have to be at an interactive board to use this software, depending on your local authority setup. You may be able to ask them to access a shared Active Inspire from a portable device or laptop that they have access to. We can do a simple probability activity by adding in the dice from the maths tools. Here I can choose up to 5 dice, and I can choose the speed that they roll at. I can select roll, and I can ask my young people to add all of the dice. Once they have an answer on their boards or in their heads, I can output it to the flip chart and we can check our answer. Again, I can use a number grid to talk about numbers before, after, less than, more than. And if you choose a preset activity, it may come with instruction guides. If you see a pages note up at the top, that gives you instructions. There are some simple symmetry activities also available here. There are also nets which can be printed out. Again, view, browsers, shared resources, and using lesson building tools and activities provide you with a range of resources available, including number grids, which can be easily dragged onto your page. Challenges can be carried out in class with the semi-transparent numbers, asking young people to add up or down based on a specific times table, prime numbers, etc. There's also calendars available, other symmetry activities, backgrounds, and a whole range of graph paper and gridded paper available. Finally, you can access help, support, or further professional learning via a range of places. The Numeracy and Mathematics PLC within GLOW has a huge range of websites, resources, materials, all of which can support professional learning and teaching. You may also wish to visit the Technologies Learning Community on GLOW. This is a site where you can access a range of materials to support learning and teaching. We also link out to partner agencies, for example Barefoot Computing, unplugged resources which can introduce computing science to younger learners and have the added benefit of introducing several maths concepts such as developing directional language. DigiLearn Scot is the national site from Education Scotland, which hosts a range of materials. It also contains a range of shared practice from practitioners and settings across the country who've demonstrated how they have used a range of digital tools, learned new skills, or implemented something from professional learning. We have a range of materials to support computing science, cyber resilience, as well as digital literacy. Within GLOW itself, the GLOW Connect page has a huge range of resources on any products. The professional learning communities I've mentioned earlier can be accessed through the tile. And should you have any concerns or issues with GLOW, there are 2 bespoke tiles available to everyone. If you'd like to know more about some of the Microsoft products that I showed, there is a specific tile for that via the Microsoft Educator Centre. And there's a further one for Google products, which I've not covered today, but which are available via DigiLearn Scot, or you can look up professional learning material on those products. Many thanks for taking time to watch this video. Should you have any questions moving forward, please don't hesitate to get in touch